All right, this is a 22 Silverado HD, and we're gonna take the rear seat out. So if you wanted to, let's say, do something with the back window, and this is the rear window or the rear seat in the crew cab. What other models this applies to, I'm not sure, but it's a bunch, really. So if you wanted to get at the back window, or if you want to get at the inverter, right, the thing that sends the plug-in power to the front dashboard and also to the outlet that's in the bed, the pickup bed. So the inverter does that, and that thing is mounted behind the rear seat. And also the regulator, the thing that opens and closes that back window, is mounted behind the rear seat. So, and in my case, I take the seats out of this in the back and put in like a rack system, shelving system. So when we're camping and stuff, we've got a bunch of storage. So that's why I'm taking it out. But the process is the same. So let's get to it. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take the backrest part of it. So the seat is in two sections. The section you sit on, and then the section that supports your back. You gotta do the back first, or else you really can't get at the bottom section. In the back section, it's a little funky, but it's not a big deal. So for the back, you're going to need a 10 millimeter socket, something rather, to get at some bolts. And for the bottom, you're going to need a 18 millimeter to get at those. But like I said, we'll start in the back. This guy. So you got to hit that button to flop it over to give you enough room to lift it out. All right, here's how I'm doing it. So the flat surface could be, piece of plastic, wood. This is just a little piece of aluminum. Slide that under it, and then put your tool in, screwdriver, trim removal tool, whatever, and then just kind of squeezing them together, and then I'll pop it nice and neat. Here we go. So you gotta do that to the other two. Okay, now we got the headrests out and the bases to the headrests. We're gonna take care of those 4 bolts that are on the bottom of the seat back. All right, and you get to them by folding up the bottom part of your bench seat, and then you can look under there, and you can see them. You need a flashlight. Forgot to mention that. You need a flashlight, and then once you locate them, you just stick your arm in there, and then you can undo them. Not that big a deal, and they're not on there that tight. So see that? There's one right there, and there's one down there. So both these guys, and there's one over there to the left. I already got that one out, but you got 1 and 2, and then there's going to be one more down there. So let's get them out. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. Get the rest of that one with my hand. Oh. And then there's the other one down here. There we go. Okay, I think that's it. Got it. Ooh, it's coming out. There it is. All right, good deal. And I got this one. Now, if you lose like that one, oh, dropped it. I got it though. If you do drop one back there, it's not a big deal because you'll be able to. There's no big crevices back there. At least not that I've seen that you could lose your bolt in. Okay, one more, and it's the one over there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now it's time to release the little spring latches that are on the back. So there is one right here. Okay. And then there's one right down here, right next to this guy, this bracket. So all the little latchy things are right next to these brackets. So there's one on this side, and then there's another bracket down here. So the latch is right here. You can pull back. Got the flashlight in my mouth here. You pull back the seat, and you'll see it. It's right in here. All right. And I'll give you a shot of it once I get the back off so you know what it looks like. So if you have one of those little hook thingies, which I do, and they work great, you need to get down there and you need to get the hook around it, and then you just pull it up and you'll feel the seat kind of release and go. But just to prove that you don't need one of those cool pick tools, I'm just going to use some wire. See that? Just got it looped. I'm going to get that loop behind the little latch, and we're going to pull it up. I don't know if I can do this with the camera going too, but we'll try. I could probably do it. I could probably do it by feel. Might have it. There it is. Okay, so that's one of them. And you got to be careful. Like, you don't want to be putting a bunch of weight on this seat back, because if you do, it's just going to latch again. And it's going to be very frustrating. So try not to put a bunch of weight behind there. All right, so I'm going to do this one next. Oh, yeah, I think I got it. Okay, listen for the little thud. All right, no thud. Is it out? It is out. Okay, cool. Okay, so I got the three latches pulled, and the seat back is loose. However, there is one more thing that you got to do. You got to get this seat belt. Just pull it out, get a lot of slack in it, and then let it go around the back side of that of the seat before you try to pull it out, because that's not going to work. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the other side of the truck. Okay. Got it. Here we go. Okay. So there you go. That's what the back of your seat looks like. All this stuff is like sound insulation. Because you got these guys right here. So these are your vents. And so these vents, like if you don't have the back seat in, they can be pretty loud because there's no insulation on them, right? And especially if you run the air conditioner in fresh air mode as opposed to the recirculation mode. So if it's running in fresh air mode, you're bringing in new air, and that new air's got to go somewhere, and that's where it's going to go. It's going to go out. And so if you're driving down the road, these things are like these little flaps, are like partially open, so it gets noisy. But it's not horrible. All right, this is your regulator for the back sliding window. All right, so if that's why you're doing this, there you go. You don't have to take the bottom part of the seat out. So if you were replacing this, well, good luck. Hopefully I don't have to do it, but there you go. I'm assuming that like a new one of these would come with the cables and everything, maybe. I don't know. Over here, so this is your inverter. So that's what creates the AC power that goes to your, like everyday kind of outlets, the 3-prong outlets. All right, and then down here, so this is where those bolts were that we took out first. This is latched, like when your seat is in there. And then what you want to do is you want to get on this guy right here. So all you need to do is find something that'll hook in right here, and then you pull it up and it'll unlatch. All right, so we get the hook thing around it, and when we pull it up, that thing releases. Cool. So pretty easy, and the sun has finally come out, so that's good. Okay, so now that you have the back seat out, it becomes pretty obvious what you have to pull out to get the bottom part of the seat out. But let's check it out. I'll show you. Okay. So you got 1, 2, and then there's one down there in the back. So you've got 3 in the back. There it is. Okay, those are 18 millimeter, or at least they are on this truck. And then flip this guy up, and then you've got 1 right there. You got 1 right here. So that one also holds in the seatbelt buckles or latches, whatever those are. So when you pop that one out, the seatbelt stuff will come out too. And just remember to put it back together correctly if you want all that seatbelt stuff to work. Okay, and then same thing down there in that corner. Same deal with just the bolt into the frame. And you don't have to do anything with that seatbelt system right there. Okay. So 6 bolts. 6 bolts you got to take off. They're on there pretty tight. Yeah, so once you get all those out, and pull that seat out, it's going to be awkward where the split is, where the 60-40 or 70-30 split is. This thing flops around when it's not mounted. So keep that in mind. You're going to need help You know, with the back, you might be able to pull the back out yourself. I did. But this bottom part, it's a little heavier and it's super awkward. So, but that's it. Super easy. So remember, when you put it back together, you gotta put the bottom in first. Like if you do it the other way around, it's really hard to get at all those bolts. And then eventually you'll be like, oh God, I gotta take the back off first. So the back seems like a big deal, but it's not, you know, like the latch thing, not a big deal, right? Once you do it, you'll be like, oh, okay, cool. So you could do it like me. This is like the third time I've done it. So no big deal. I hope this helps you out. Taking the back seat out of your Sierra, it'll work on Sierras and Silverados. This is a 22, probably works on anywhere from 19 to 25, probably. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.